something that permanently altered your body without you realizing for months, years. I was a college athlete. We were told that pain was temporary, but pride was forever. I've had 3 orthopedic surgeries, one of which wasn't successful, and from which I went septic. I was diagnosed with arthritis before I was 20. My knees are shot. I have more cracks, pops, and stiffness than people 10 plus years older than me. As it turns out, the pain is forever and comes with compounding interest. Dentist had to yank out a wisdom tooth. The yank somehow damaged my jaw. The jaw is now permanently pressed upwards and had pushed stuff around, so it impacts most of the right side of my face. My jaw now pops on that side. I've lost about 60% of hearing in that ear, and I get massive dizzy spells now. That was 25 years ago. Turns out, a stint of bulimia in your teenage years can really fuck up your teeth. I've been having various health issues for years. Turns out I have a brain tumor that's been trying to kill me, the fecker that he is. Not getting enough sleep. Acne. I thought it was something that would go away after your teens, but it's still destroying my face a decade later, and nothing seems to work. It's most likely genetic, since the other women in my family still suffer from it. Even if there was a cure, I still have the permanent scarring, since dark skin tends to scar worse than light skin. I know it seems minor compared to what others said here, but people aren't as kind to those with a messed up face. Obstructive sleep apnea. When you already know you have some mental troubles, you think that explain your drowsiness and low mood, and don't look for more issues. It does not only hurt your cardiovascular system, it may slowly destroy your life. If you are overweighted, obese, snore at night and/or feel sleepy all day, go see your doctor. Edit, added, and/or because, as many of you relevantly said, weight is an important factor but not always necessary. Had breast implants removed after decades. Left a slightly concave space because over time the ribs get deformed from the pressure of the implants. Pregnancy. I had twins. I got huge in the tummy. I had the babies, and it left this pot belly that wouldn't go away. Fast forward, the twins are 8 years old. I am 7 weeks post-op of having my diastasis recti corrected. You know that center line down the abs? Mine had split. There was a 6 to 8 inch gap down the middle the whole way down. The pot belly that I kept punishing myself for, the baby fat I couldn't lose, those were my organs. My digestive organs were all herniated. I now have to forgive myself for 8 years of unjustified self-hatred. It isn't always just fat. Working out. I was a skinny, tiny woman, constantly harassed and/or assaulted by men. Not because I was attractive, but because I looked easy to overcome. I got so tired of fighting, screaming, and what happened when I lost, that I got a book by Arnie, a bench, and a simple dumbbell set, and decided I was not going to stop until I weighed 45 kilos, 100 pounds. I only made it 30 years later when menopause kicked in, but by that time, I was addicted to being fit, strong, and confident. Now I'm 75, and aside from some arthritis, as physically capable as most people 30 years younger, and I feel great. Casual drinking. I'm 7 months pregnant, and it's amazing how much weight I've lost and how drastically different my face looks in pictures. I'm not going back to drinking after giving birth. Wearing tight shoes every day gave me bunions, but I didn't realize the cause until years later. Bad posture. I sit like a shrimp and get shooting back pains now. Being 6'7", I know your pain. First, just lay on the floor and let yourself relax. Put your hands on your lower ribs with your elbows out and just relax. Try to meditate or do rhythmic breathing. Good chance you are going to feel your vertebrae moving around as you do this. This is from 2 things: muscles relaxing and them moving, taking stress out of your back. It feels weird and can be uncomfortable, but it's part of the process. Second, push your heels toward the wall. This will stretch your lower back and will have the same effect. Third, while pushing your heels or separate, clasp your hands together with your arms stretched in front of your face. Let them fall over your head. This will have the same effect as the first. The eventual goal is to have your hands touch the floor over your head. This can take a while. Several sessions. There is more if you want me to go further. More info. If you sleep on your side, try a couple of nights sleeping with your back and legs straight. Find a way you can hang from your hands and just let gravity work on your back. While you are on your back, with your hands above your head, try to do a crunch. This should make your thoracic vertebrae decompress and make a bunch of noise. It may actually hurt initially, but it will feel better almost immediately. Being kept 100% out of the sun as a kid. I wasn't given vitamin D supplements either, so my bones are pretty fragile and break easily, and my enamel is delicate and shears off if my teeth close too hard. My body never sequestered calcium properly as a kid, and there's nothing I can do about it as an adult. My mom thought she was protecting me from skin cancer, but she was really dooming me to a life of bone fractures and bad teeth. Smoking for almost 10 years. Obviously, I knew that smoking was never going to do anything but hurt my lungs. But it's been almost 2 years since I smoked, and I still have terrible lung capacity. Another is not learning healthy exercising habits when I was younger. I wish my parents made me play sports, even if I hated it. I think that's another part of why I get so easily winded and fatigued when trying to work out now. It's hard for me to breathe while also focusing on moving my body the right way. For example, I subconsciously hold my breath when I do planks or when I'm holding a stretch. Edit. Thank you for the responses, everyone. I didn't expect this to get many replies at all, since I thought I was sort of late to the thread. But I appreciate all of the advice and support. I have been trying for the last year to start doing light cardio workouts, walking/jogging around outside to try and build my stamina. I live in a pretty rural area, though, and there aren't many places to go do that except just in laps around the house. I am trying my best, though, because I'd like to be in a lot better shape by spring. Thank you so much. I had a hollow tonsil filled with crap without knowing it. Semi-ruined my life. Over about 8 years, I slowly went from very slight symptoms to constantly getting sick, tonsillitis a bunch of times a year, would catch any cold, my throat and sinuses always feeling messed up. Couldn't even go for a walk without waking up sick the next day. Primary healthcare didn't take me seriously, of course, but eventually they did test me for streptococcus. Even though I didn't have white bits on my tonsils, it was, of course, positive. Likely had chronic strep infection for years. But not just that, of course. Any bacteria I contracted, I couldn't get rid of properly due to them living in the hollow my immune system couldn't reach. I have had to take very strong antibiotics, but unfortunately, this was a few months before I by chance realized the tonsil was full of crap and cleaned it out and could keep it clean and sanitize it with antibacterial mouthwash. I wish I, or the doctors, would have realized that before the antibiotics, because I was, of course, recolonized. The throat I can keep clean easily, and I've since had the tonsils removed. But the sinuses and nose are still a mess with very probable staphylococcus, likely also with some resistance. So I treat myself as if I'm very infectious to spare others. So much trouble from one tiny little physical flaw. My parents had the kids do a lot of manual labor, starting when I was only 5 or 6. Not just helping in the yard, but actual landscaping work. My brother and I once had to haul rocks in those 10-pound buckets from a dumpster to the egress windows 300 yards away. Being so little, we had no idea about posture, lifting with your legs, etc. We both have chronic back, shoulder, knee, and neck pain and have the beginning symptoms of arthritis. We're only 21 and 26 now. Makes me mad that I hurt myself when I was so little, doing work that the adults should have been doing.